All right, guys. So our next topic is more leaks, but this time there's some DC leaks, some DCEU leaks, as a matter of fact. If that's what they're still calling it these days. I don't think they ever actually called it that, but that's what the journalism folks gave them the name of the DCEU, which is a stupid name. It should just be the DCU. In all honesty, the DCU or the DCCU, something like that. I don't know, John. What do you think the better name, honestly, like is for the DC cinematic universe? Because I think either just call it DC Universe, like it's always been called, so just DCU, or DCCU for DC Cinematic Universe. I think that's what it should have been called. If some journalism fool was going to give it a name, I don't understand DC Extended Universe. It never made sense to me, and they've never said it
Yeah,
themselves. Like,
I don't. I mean, I don't know why it has to. Yet again, it's just like people trying to play catch up to Marvel. Like, yes, Marvel is the MCU. They're the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It works for them, but why can't it just be DC movies or why DCM or
yeah,
DCF, DC Films
it
or
should have just been DCU. Just
whatever?
call it
Like
DC Universe. Period.
DC Universe. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Why
what it
why
is.
does it have to be? Yeah,
Well, that's the thing. Like in Warner's
I don't know.
defense and DC's defense, they've never given it a name. Like they never branded it
Hmm.
the DCEU. Like it just that's what people started calling it. But to blame DC for something, they never came out and corrected anybody. They never said that's not what we go by. And we're like, we're not that. We're just the DC universe. Like that's it. Like that would be fine. Like or DCM, DC movies. That's it. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, though, like I said, we have some leaks here, and this video it went up, it went up and went out around the internet. It looks like, from my guess, that it's going to be something like a little excerpt or clip of some kind. Maybe not the full thing. There might be a lot more to this, but this little bit is what they have right now, at the very least. But it seems like something for the Flash, mind you, that is going to be part of DC fandom this year. It seemed very much in the same vein as some of the all of the kind of behind the scenes stuff that they showed off in fandom last year, and in particular for The Flash too. It's kinda in the same, I don't know, the same, what word am I looking for? Like, I don't know, it was the same motif, same energy, that kind of thing as what they showed off for fandom last year. So, it's pretty much taken down everywhere right now, so it's kind of impossible to find if you haven't found it, and I guess a spoiler warning if you don't wanna see anything, nothing actually gets shown off in it because what was shown were a couple, like, it was all concept art, and then it did show off some scenes that, uh there was someone in the shot, we'll say, and you don't see who it is because the people who actually have put this thing together, at Warner or at DC or just on the Flash marketing team or whomever, they kinda put their own little yellow warning sign that says "spoiler alert" over top of certain characters in those, that concept art shot. So, like, that was part of the production of this thing. It wasn't, something that someone did out there who got a hold of the video. It was something that they did, and that's why I'm saying it seems like something they're gonna be showing off in Fandom, and then they're still going to have those little, caution signs over top of the characters that they're wanting to remain hidden. So, but nevertheless, I do have the video here. So, I'm not gonna play the video, but I am going to, like, kinda, like, just pull up shots from it. So, because I don't wanna play it because, like I said, it's been getting taken down anyway, so if I play it, it runs the risk of I'm just gonna have to pull the whole thing. I'm either gonna have to cut this segment out of the show, or I'm going to have to just take the video down, one of the 2, and I'd rather just not do that. So I will go through and just kinda click through some stuff just so we can actually see a little bit of it. I have it on a screen capture from, a cellular device of some kind here, so if I do play it, it probably won't matter. It shouldn't, like, really hit an algorithm because it's not really the same kind of thing as what it would be looking for, but here it is nevertheless. So it starts off with, Ezra Miller is talking, but he does say something interesting here as he's like, "There's lots of Batmans or Batmen or whatever." He doesn't even know what the plural word is for Batman. I'm like, which I thought was kinda funny because it really isn't one technically. But I think if anything, despite, like, the obvious shots where they put up those aforementioned, spoiler warning little flags, what this little segment did was confirm that, like, Michael Keaton's Batman is in a hell of a lot more of this movie than I think anybody initially thought. Because I think I even said it before, like, there's no way that he even has a major role in this movie because he didn't even agree to be in the film till the last minute. And you normally don't shape a movie around a particular character until you know that you're even gonna have that character exist in your movie. Because if Michael Keaton ends up not signing up for this movie, you gotta go back to the drawing board if he's playing a very big role. You know what I mean?
Unless they recast.
Yeah, but if you're building something around, like, you like, the way this kind of thing would work, they're going back to, like, Michael Keaton's Batman world, and so, I mean, you could just replace it with Val Kilmer, I guess, or George Clooney Batman, like, you'd have to have another Batman to or just make it you'd have to go back to the drawing board
Or they just cast an older person and
just to play a
use the
Batman.
same. Yeah, just to play an older Batman, and then they use the same, they don't directly reference any, maybe they cut out any direct reference to the '89 Batman film,
Yeah, they coulda done that.
but they still use the same shooting locations, they still use the same design elements. It's just Batman '89 in a different part of the multiverse, like where Batman looks a little different, is a different actor. I don't know. That's my only, because like you said, it appears that there's a lot more of the character in the film than you would think would have been the case had him not returning been, if he hadn't returned and the story was rested as much on his shoulders as it seems to, then
Uh-huh.
they would have had to just rewrite the entire script.
Exactly. So that's the thing though, because I do agree, like, they could have just done just cast any old guy to play an older
Yep.
Batman and just, like, have Barry do the same exact things that he's gonna be doing with Michael Keaton's Batman, but it's just this other older Batman, and like you said, they could still directly reference events from Batman '89, technically, but it's just
Yeah.
but do you think that would have had it obviously wouldn't have had the same effect, so I don't know if that would have
Oh
been
God, no.
you know what I mean? Exactly, so I almost think it would have
When the
been
first
better.
I
Go
I
ahead.
mean, when the first I can't speak for, I mean, there's obviously, you guys are a little bit younger than I am, and I'm sure a lot of our audience is younger than I am, but for for those that are my age and older, when that first trailer hits and Michael Keaton shows up in that Batman costume, people are going to lose their damn minds.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna break the internet for a little while, I bet. As long as they do it right. It's gonna be the talk of the town, that everybody's gonna be talking about it, because Batman '89 was so big. It was such a huge thing the year it came out. I mean, people were literally getting the Bat logo shaved into their head, into their haircuts, because everybody wanted something Batman. And so it's going to be a big deal for a lot of people when Michael Keaton shows back up as Batman.
Have you seen this?
I did not. No, I didn't go like shot by shot, frame
I've
by frame.
never
He's catching a
there's a
baby.
bunch of babies that are falling to their death. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 babies.
Don't let
Just
the babies die, Barry.
like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what is this?
It's gonna be a pretty dark movie. They're
Yeah,
killing
whose
babies. Awesome.
evil plot? Like, what the hell? This is maniacal, dude. Jesus. Like, I never noticed this when I just watched it normally. This is fucked up. There's like this
Yeah.
might be like the bat plane because there's like a claw here, and it's like coming out of a thing, but then there's like another thing, like this thing back here almost looks like a fucking missile, like under behind this baby. So like someone's literally throwing babies out of something very high in the sky and subsequently shooting a fucking missile at them. What is this, dude? Like, what the hell?
I don't know.
Oh my god. This is interesting. I wanna click through this now, see what else I notice. Like, maybe I
Yeah.
missed something because I totally missed that. That's kinda fucked up, dude. Oh, yeah, but then there's another thing, like, he says right here, Andy Muschietti, the director, like, during this whole thing, um, what does he say? He says something about there being
There's a Justice League that's not our Justice League
yeah, and he said there's
that
a
that
Kryptonian who's he says something about a Kryptonian, and it's, like, not, like, it's something, I don't know, but then you see in the concept art, there's, like, presumably a super it kind of reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, damn it, which story was it? You remember when Superman's being held captive and he's, like, lost all his power and he's, like 'cause he's
real
being locked
skinny.
yeah, 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 real skinny, he's, like,
It's
withered.
Flashpoint.
Is it
You're talking
Flashpoint?
about Flashpoint. Yeah,
Okay, that's okay, then that makes
that's one of
sense
the
then, yeah.
key plot points from the Flashpoint comics is that
Yeah.
Superman does not when he arrives on Earth, the government takes him and puts
Mhm.
him in like a subterranean bunker and he's never exposed to the sun and so he never his powers never develop. I mean, he's this scrawny, weak being that they free and then as soon as he hits the sun, he starts gaining his powers, but
Which is
yeah.
exactly what this looks like. 'Cause
Yeah.
when they find him, Batman's with him in Flashpoint. It's because Barry tells that Thomas Wayne about it all, so they go seek him out, and then they find him.
Yeah.
So, like, that's exactly what this looks like. The interesting thing here is, like, you can totally tell this is the Michael Keaton Batsuit, but 1000% this has been at the size of Ben Affleck. This is a beefy fucking boy, alright?
Yeah.
This Batman, that's a beefy boy. That ain't Michael
I
Keaton.
wonder I wonder if the other option for if Keaton had not come back would have been just to have Ben Affleck play both parts.
Maybe.
And
See, I would have thought
the differential between the 2 would be the suit that he's wearing. That's how you tell
yeah.
which version of it he was.
Right, I mean, maybe. I would have thought, like, if he wouldn't have done it, then just bring in, I can't the Thomas Wayne, who is the, uh, what was the
Jeffrey
fucking
Dean Morgan?
yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Well, I would say just
Yeah.
bring him in and just do Flashpoint. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, why the hell not? He could totally be
Sure.
Thomas Wayne, you know, like, 100%. He would have been he was Thomas Wayne, obviously, but he would have been a great Flashpoint Thomas Wayne. Like,
Sure.
he was the comedian, like, and that's very similar characters in all honesty. At least, like, with the way they act. So, as you can see here, here's one of the spoiler alert things that I was talking about. So, anytime there's a character they haven't referenced or haven't announced, then there it is. So I've also heard other things, like Andy Muschietti says in this clip that he says, like, there is a Justice League, but it's not the Justice League we know, essentially. And I've heard that there are a lot of people in this movie, like, a lot of people, like, DC hero-wise, that no one knows about, obviously, but there's almost confirmed rumors that Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is in the movie, like, and has shot stuff for the movie already. So there's one of these, I think it's one of these, I'll try to pause it on here, where you can actually see, like, someone holding it has one of the spoiler alert signs on it, but it looks like you can see someone holding a sword and shield like Wonder Woman would. Did I go too far back? I think I went too far back. I must have gone way too far back. We hadn't seen the Batmobile shot yet. Yeah, so we're here. I'm gonna see if I can see if I can see anything back there. I can see an arm there. Ooh, then it was gone real quick. What else do we got? So you can
You said you
totally
thought this had Go ahead.
oh, no, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, you said you thought this had been filmed as possibly a, fandom, segment.
For sure.
I'm just really surprised that they would have fandom segments ready this far out. I mean, it's not going to be until October of this year, right? So
Yes.
I mean, June, July, August, September. I mean, we're 4 months out from the next fandom, and if this, this looks like it's been pieced together pretty well already and cut together already. So this isn't something that they just came up with this week. I mean, this is something that they've been working on for a little bit here, and so I would just be very surprised that they would have something like this ready to go for fandom already. I almost feel like this is like a presentation to
Oh,
shareholders or
that's
something,
what I've
maybe
heard that
a
too.
presentation to Discovery, whoever's coming in to do Discovery, like a presentation to them on to get them up to speed on what the films are going to be or something. I don't know.
That is a rumor I've heard too, because people have obviously been trying to figure out, was this for fandom, or if not for fandom, why does this thing exist? And that
Yeah,
was one of the theories I heard, was like, well, it was probably for a shareholders meeting, like, and that's what, like, they were showing stuff off to the shareholders, and now that they are part of this new company, there's new shareholders involved, so it would make sense for them to have to show off and justify, current things, like
what they're
things that are
doing. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, that could be it, and either way, I could totally see this thing showing up at Fandom, whether or not it was for the shareholders thing or not. Now, in this shot, I guess what's interesting here is that in the other shots, he was wearing his new suit, and this one, he's still wearing the Snyder Flash suit. And then the spoiler alert here is over top of a character who is a very small frame. So my guess is this is Wonder Woman sitting here. Like you can see, there's like a little black. She's wearing a black shirt. Whoever it is, I think it's a girl because they're smaller than Barry. It's like obviously very impossible to see, but you don't really see much of it. But that's what it looks like. And then right here is the sword and shield character. Because it's obviously not Supergirl, because they've shown off Supergirl, and in the concept art, they don't show the spoiler stuff over her because it's already been announced. So,
yeah.
but this looks
But
like literally a shield
The Green
there.
Lantern character hadn't been announced, right? And they're showing him in a couple shots.
Did they?
Wasn't that a Green Lantern that's in the shot with the Superman?
The one where we went back?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
just a
one
couple
before?
seconds ago that we were talking about, yeah, when you saw it when we were talking about Flashpoint Superman, how that like child or that scrawny person that's on the ground,
Mhm.
there was some glowing character next to in the
Oh,
right
that
of
was
the front of the
Barry.
frame there.
That was Barry.
That was Barry?
Yeah, in his new suit. I can go back.
Oh.
I'll go back.
No, I mean, let's finish
Because
this
that's
out. We can
Flash right there. There's Supergirl. There's Batman. And then there's a sword and shield looking person here, which is more than likely Wonder Woman. And then, it goes up real. You see a lot more right there. You're trying to pause it right on there. Ooh, too late.
yeah, that spoiler kinda jumps
Bam!
up, doesn't it?
There it is. Honestly, it doesn't even look like they're actually holding a sword here anymore. It doesn't even look like a shield either.
Yeah. It's really small on my screen, I cannot.
It's small on this screen too, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. My guess would still be
It's
Wonder Woman. It would make the most
my
sense
my
for it to be, but
my best guess from what I can see is that it's someone with legs.
ooh, that's true. So
Yeah.
it does rule
Yeah,
out,
they do have legs.
it's not Barbara Gordon then.
Not
Not
oh,
not Barbara
too
Gordon.
soon, too soon.
And so, yeah, here again, here's Supergirl, here's Barry in the street clothes, Michael Keaton Batmobile.
I love that, the Michael Keaton Batmobile, yeah, and then this shot we already saw,
Mhm.
this was the fandom shot from last year.
Yep. And that is the same suit that he's wearing in that other scene. Let me try to find it again. Coming up here. So, yeah,
Yeah,
right
this one
there,
right
that's Flash. There's his little lightning bolt and the helmet and everything.
wow,
That's
that head looks kind of elongated, I thought that was a Green Lantern,
mm, yeah, that's
but
Flash there. Then whoever's back here could be somebody. I mean, that's obviously somebody. It's impossible to know. Like, since there's Supergirl up on the roof and they're not hiding Supergirl, it's not Supergirl. but there is that other character there with the spoiler alert with all them on the roof. So my guess is Wonder Woman right here. It's who the hell knows, but there's only that the spoiler alert thing only comes up 3 times, once there, once in the car, and then once on the roof, and each time, it kind of looks like a girl figure. So, like, especially this one, because like, the frame of this person literally looks smaller than Barry. So, like, you can my guess is that this is Wonder Woman, like, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is also in the movie. But I could see them honestly I could see them probably actually revealing that at Fandom, in all honesty. Like, I could see them releasing this same thing without the spoiler alert stuff on it, like, 'cause I don't think they'd really care. Now, it is kind of
I hate
early for them to
I
do that, though.
I hate to say this because I'm just like this is like raising hopes up way too high.
Henry
But
Cavill.
what are the
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. No, I wish.
Uh,
What are the chances it's Terry McGinnis?
dude, that would be fucking incredible.
What are the chances that like they legit have done the Batman Beyond thing and like that you said someone smaller, so if it's a teenage boy that like a teenage male that Bruce is taking under his wing and is training because that was the one thing that's odd about being Gal Gadot to me is because they're clearly in Michael Keaton's Batmobile in that shot with Barry in the back and Keaton up front driving. So why would Gal Gadot be in this universe and why would she be in the back of the Batmobile at
Well,
that
who's in
point?
the passenger seat then too?
Well, true, true.
So who would be
Um,
there? There could
yeah,
be
I
another maybe Supergirl.
there could be another
Maybe
character.
Supergirl.
Supergirl could be in the yeah, could be in the
'Cause
front too.
yeah,
So
Batman obviously knows who Supergirl is. So,
but
like, they're
if it
chilling.
is a smaller person, if it's somebody that's a younger person that's the age of a teenage Terry McGinnis, they could be
The only thing that makes me think it's not and maybe, like I said, this could be a completely
because
different
why would they put
character.
a spoiler warning over it? Because nobody, not that many people know who Terry is, and he wouldn't be immediately identifiable. Yeah.
Well, not so much that, because yeah, obviously nobody if they were just drawing a human male, then yeah, they
Hmm.
because obviously there wouldn't have
It wouldn't be a spoiler
it
warning.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, no one would know who the hell
Yeah.
it was. But the I don't think this shot is. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but just because this actually from what this tiny blur of a character looks like, it looks like they're wearing a skirt and boots. The shading of this makes it look like the boots go up to right underneath the knee, and then it looks like a skin tone, and then there's shorts or a skirt up here, and then on the arms, it's the same way. You can see skin tone here, and then gauntlets. Granted, it doesn't necessarily mean it's Wonder Woman, but it's the most obvious choice for that kind of character model, otherwise, like, I don't know who the hell else it would be. But again, this is a tiny blur of somebody, like, who the hell knows? It could just be the way the light's hitting it. I don't know. Because, like, to your point, I at first thought that there was like a sword and shield there, but it really doesn't look like there is a sword and shield there. I think what people thought was a sword was the bottom of the spoiler alert thing when it was down there. Because unless you're
Yeah.
doing like a quick pause and unpause like I'm doing, you don't really that it looks like a sword is there, but then once this thing moves up, it looks like it's just someone standing there. So it's really hard to say. Like, so I don't know. I would love for Terry McGinnis to be in this movie. The only thing that makes it kind of odd, if it is, it's he's still in the bat. Like we still got Michael Keaton in the bat suit, so they would definitely be going a little bit of a deviation from the traditional Batman Beyond because Bruce is like 100% retired by the time Terry comes into the picture. But maybe he's taking him in like Robin first, maybe he hasn't fully retired and he's more formally training a Terry McGinnis kind of character. Like maybe
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate them to do that kind of a deviation to the Batman Beyond like story. Like it wouldn't really change anything. So I don't know. I would love to see it. I don't think they would do it. I would hope at anything they do tease a Batman Beyond thing since they did get Michael Keaton back. Because I always thought like that would be the perfect thing to do is if you wanna make Batman Beyond, get Michael Keaton in to play Old Man Bruce. 'cause it would
Yep.
have people would be anxious to go see it because they know Michael Keaton. Everyone loved Michael Keaton's Batman. No one knows who Terry McGinnis is, so, like, Batman Beyond by itself with a no-name Bruce Wayne would probably be a harder sell, but you bring someone in like a Michael Keaton to play that old man Bruce role, you get the asses in the seats, like, 100%. So,
Yep.
and plus I love Batman Beyond, so I really hope they just do it. But nevertheless, you got anything else you wanna add about the thing, the Flash stuff?
No, no, looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious. We'll definitely know more come fandom, but we'll see.
In 2022 is gonna be the year of the multiverse. It's gonna
Yeah.
kick off a little bit early, and it looks like it might kick off a little bit early with Spider-Man in December, but
Mhm.
2022 is gonna be all about the multiverse in both DC and Marvel, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly gonna be a huge year for DC anyway. They have, like, 5 movies coming out. So,
Yeah.
like, multiverse aside, like, they just
God,
do 5 fucking movies.
That Flash movie is still over a year away, right?
Mhm. Yes, it is. 'Cause we got Shazam, we got Batman, Shazam, Flash, or no, Batman, Black Adam rather, because I think Shazam's coming out in 2023, right? I don't even think it's coming out in 2022. I think it's coming out in 2023.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I know there's 5 movies coming out for DC in 2022. I don't remember. I
Yeah.
think Aquaman 2 is one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the end of the year, though. They're doing December for that one again.
mhm, and then Black Adam's coming out in, like, June or July.
Mhm.
Batman's coming out in, like, October, I think. Or
I
March or
thought Batman
October. Did
was
they move it to
March.
March? I think they moved it to
March.
March, yeah.
It had been moved back to October of this year, and then it got moved
Mhm,
back again to next year, March.
right. So then there's, maybe DC, Super Pets is one of them too. That comes out in 2022.
That is one of the 5, yep.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
then I can't remember what the 5th is, but
Speaking of Batman in October, the Long Halloween, I know we don't really talk about the animated movies too much, but that Long Halloween movie was excellent.
it was good.
I thought it was the best DC animated movie that they've done since Under the Red Hood. I
Yeah,
used to love the DC
probably
animated
was.
movies, and I actually kind of fell away from them. Hadn't liked them in the few recent years.
Dark
War
Knight
was
Returns
good.
was alright. They
Dark Knight
did
Returns, but that's been years ago.
it
I
was
mean,
after
that's
Red Hood, though.
5, 6 was it?
Yeah, I'm fairly
Okay,
certain it was. I think so.
okay. Well, I
Mm,
mean, they've just ever since they had Justice League War, I
mhm.
think was the one that kicked off where they had this continuity. Like they changed the story of the Judas contract to fit the new continuity that they had established with Justice League War, and then they changed the story of Batman Hush to fit with the continuity. All these changes they made to fit, and then by having the Apocalypse Justice League Dark Apocalypse, was it Apocalypse
Yeah,
War? Or I can't
yeah,
remember what the
Justice League
title
Dark
was.
Apocalypse War, yeah.
Okay, well, once that film came out and they got rid of that continuity, like, and now they're back to doing faithful adaptations of classic stories, which is what they should have done all along. I mean, it was just excellent. I cannot say enough about how much I like that movie.
It's fitting that you brought up Under the Red Hood because Jensen Ackles played Red Hood in that, and now he's playing Batman in this one, but
Yes.
Under the Red Hood did come out in 2010, and then, Dark Knight Returns came out in 2013. So,
Okay.
it did come out after
So there
that,
was
and
a
then
couple few years after.
mhm, and honestly, I will say too, I actually liked this Superman Batman Apocalypse movie. I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, that's the one with Supergirl.
Yeah, and then all the
Yeah,
Doomsday
and
clones and shit.
yeah,
I
and
liked that movie. That
that
was
was
the
also
outside of
before.
continuity, yeah. That was
Exactly, that
before,
was
yeah.
before they ever since they established that continuity, like, I would watch there were a few of them I know I didn't even watch because I was just
Mm.
tired of it, like, I was so disillusioned with how they had butchered some classic stories. I was just like I mean,
Like
I
Killing
was the
Joke.
kind of person. Yeah, exactly. I was the kind of person that would I was buying those animated movies every time they came out because I had liked them so
Yeah.
much, and then I haven't bought one in, 5 years probably, and after seeing this newest one, I'm like, "I'm probably gonna go pick it up."
Mhm. Death in the Family was okay. Did you watch Death in the Family?
Family. I didn't know. Is that the one where you get to choose which
I don't know. I just
how the
watched
story
the
plays
movie.
out?
I just watched the movie.
Okay,
I don't remember. I don't know if they
okay.
let you do something. I don't know if there were, like, 2
I
discs
don't
and
think
they
I
let
watched
you
that one. Okay.
I
I don't think I watched that one. I'll have to go back and see if I can catch it.
it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
It's on HBO Max, so you can watch, because I went to start watching it because I was like, "Did I watch this?" And it turns out after I got to the point of, like, obviously, it opens with Robin dying, and once it got to that point, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I totally have seen this before," and then I stopped watching it, but I don't remember getting to choose anything. I don't know if maybe they have, like, different endings or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But I thought that
I'll
one
have to
was
go back and
okay.
check it out.
I thought that was pretty decent because they did it outside of that continuity, if I remember correctly. Like, I think, Conroy does Batman's voice as opposed
Okay.
to who did it, in the Justice League War continuity. I did like Justice League War, though. I thought it was okay, and I didn't mind the subsequent movies. Like, they weren't really all that great, but I didn't think they were shitty. They definitely weren't as good as they used to be back in the, like, prior to that continuity. It wasn't, the Bruce Timm verse was substantially better, like,
Yeah.
substantially better for sure, but question is though, guys, what do you think about these Flash leaks? Do you think they mean anything? Do you think Gal Gadot Wonder Woman is the character that's being hidden? Do you think, like I said, I haven't heard anything definitive, but I've heard rumors from what I would consider to be reliable sources who have said there's a ton of people in the movie that, like, no one knows about. So, like, I'm definitely curious to see. I'm wondering if this is going to be a more faithful or traditional adaptation of Flashpoint, because if it is a more traditional adaptation, obviously not 100% faithful because we have Keaton's Batman in there as opposed to a Thomas Wayne Batman. But if that's the case, we could be looking at a Cyborg showing up. We could be looking at an Aquaman showing up. We could be looking at Wonder Woman, obviously. I mean, obviously, I think Reverse Flash is a given, but we'll still just have to wait and see. Like, I don't know. But whatever you think, let us know down in the comment section below.